GPT. It was built by OpenAI and became the model that introduced most of the world to modern artificial intelligence. What many people get wrong is the name. ChatGPT is the application, the interface you interact with, while GPT is the actual model working behind it. The same is true for Microsoft's Copilot and several other tools that use GPT underneath without making it obvious. The model learns by processing enormous amounts of text, code, and web content, not by memorizing facts, but by recognizing patterns deeply enough to predict what comes next in any given sentence. The current version is multimodal, meaning it handles writing, analysis, coding, image understanding, and voice within a single system. GPT is no longer the top performer on every benchmark, but its real strength is how widely it has been adopted by individual users, businesses, and developers building their own applications on top of it. Gemini. Google built Gemini as its answer to GPT, and in several measurable areas it has moved ahead. The flagship version leads the majority of major benchmark tests currently available, including scoring around 95% on a competitive mathematics reasoning examination used specifically to evaluate AI performance. What gives Gemini a distinct advantage beyond raw scores is how deeply it is embedded into existing tools. It lives inside Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Search, and Android, which means for anyone already using Google's products daily, Gemini is already present and already aware of the context. Its context window supports up to 2 million tokens, allowing it to process an entire book in a single pass and still return structured, coherent analysis of what it read. Claude. Anthropic built Claude with a focus on depth rather than breadth, and that decision has made it the preferred model in specific areas where precision matters most. It consistently leads benchmarks designed around real software engineering tasks, which is why it became the first recommendation in developer communities for coding help. Beyond code, it handles long document analysis exceptionally well. Contracts, research papers, and large code bases that require careful reading rather than a quick summary. One quality that separates Claude from other major models is its directness. It will identify flaws in an argument rather than finding ways to agree, which makes it more useful for serious work. The latest version supports a context window of 1 million tokens, placing it among the most capable models for large-scale analysis. Grok. xAI released Grok with one specific capability that no other major model can match: direct live access to X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. While other models depend on training data with a cutoff date or occasional web searches, Grok pulls real-time discussions, trending topics, and breaking news as they are actually happening. This makes it genuinely useful for understanding current events and public sentiment in a way that other models simply cannot replicate. Its conversational tone is notably relaxed and natural, which makes interactions feel less formal than with most alternatives. The current flagship version is multimodal and supports both image and video generation alongside its text capabilities. DeepSeek. A Chinese AI company released DeepSeek as a fully open source model, and the response from the global AI community was immediate and significant. The model is large in terms of raw parameters, but it uses an architecture called Mixture of Experts, where only a portion of the model activates for any given question, keeping it fast despite its size. Developers found they could run it at roughly 2 to 3% of the cost of comparable closed models. Because it is open source, anyone can download it, run it entirely on their own hardware, and keep all data private without any subscription or usage fee. What DeepSeek demonstrated to the broader industry is that building a frontier-level AI model no longer requires the kind of budget that only the largest technology companies in the world can access. Llama. Meta released Llama as an open-source model, and in doing so quietly became the foundation that a large portion of the AI world is built upon. Many chatbots, tools, and consumer applications running across the internet are powered by Llama underneath, often without the user being aware of it. Meta made a deliberate choice to release the model weights publicly, allowing developers, researchers, and companies to use, modify, and build on top of it freely. The latest version comes in multiple sizes, from compact models that run on a laptop to versions with hundreds of billions of parameters that rival the best closed systems. Its open availability triggered an entire movement around running AI locally on personal hardware, without subscriptions, without data sharing, and without needing an internet connection. Perplexity. Rather than building a single large model and competing directly with GPT or Claude, Perplexity took a different approach entirely. At its core is a model called Sonar, designed specifically to search the live web and return answers with clear citations, showing exactly where each piece of information came from. Instead of relying solely on what it learned during training, it retrieves current information and presents the sources openly so the user can verify what they are reading. Beyond its own model, Perplexity also allows users to access GPT, Claude, Gemini, and Grok from a single subscription, functioning as an aggregator for anyone who wants to use multiple AI systems without managing separate accounts and payments for each one. Midjourney. When it comes to generating images, Midjourney established itself as the benchmark for visual quality. The images it produces carry a cinematic, polished quality that most other generators struggle to consistently match, which is why it became widely adopted in design, marketing, and creative work where visual impact is the primary goal. Unlike some alternatives that can be run locally or accessed for free, Midjourney operates through a subscription and requires no technical setup. The output quality is the main reason professionals continue to pay for it. Over several versions, it has refined its aesthetic to the point where results often look less like AI output and more like the work of a skilled photographer or visual artist. Sora. OpenAI built Sora specifically for video generation, and it currently represents the clearest benchmark for quality in that category. Water moves with realistic physics, fabric behaves naturally, and characters maintain consistent appearances across a scene rather than changing appearance partway through. Clips of up to 1 minute can be generated through the ChatGPT platform, with synchronized audio included. It is not without limitations. Scenes involving complex physics or multiple characters in motion still break down in noticeable ways. But the gap between where AI video was 2 years ago and where Sora sits today is striking. The direction the technology is moving suggests that AI video generation will become as routine as AI image generation within a relatively short period of time. Suno. AI-generated music crossed a meaningful threshold with Suno. A simple text description is enough to produce a complete song in roughly 30 seconds. Full vocals, instrumentation, verse, and chorus structure all included. The vocals carry qualities like natural breathiness and emotional variation that earlier music generation tools lacked entirely, making the output convincing to casual listeners in a way that was not possible before. What makes Suno significant beyond the technology itself is what it represents for accessibility. Someone with no musical background, no instruments, and no studio experience can describe a mood or a feeling and receive something that resembles a finished track. Questions around copyright and ownership of AI-generated music remain genuinely unresolved, but the capability itself has arrived faster than most people anticipated. Out of all the models covered here, which ones have you actually used yourself? And which one are you most curious to try? Let us know in the comments.